Hey guys, Bob here. So I apologize about the lack of videos this past week. If you watched some of my earlier ones, you knew that I had a death with someone very close to me, and in addition to the trauma and just the overall feeling of loss that I've had, was a lot of legwork involved with it also to keep things moving, things to see about. For estate purposes, and I just had to. I haven't had a lot of time. My plan is I should have a regular video up for you guys tomorrow at some point. It's just I haven't had time. In the meantime, I have gotten a question online a couple times about the future of box office in 2021. Well, if someone went by the performance of Wonder Woman, 1984, in U.S. it's made an estimated $32.6 million and $132 million worldwide. So it's obviously performing better overseas than it is here. And if I brought up a little bit ago, I looked at the schedule for the upcoming movies, and really, I don't see anything coming that's going to attract anybody until Black Widow drops on May 7th. Assuming Black Widow drops on May 7th, like what everybody says, because have heard rumors and grumblings that Bond might be moved yet again, and I hate to say it, but the longer these movies back out and don't go to the theater on their own, I think the more damaged permanently the box office is, because people are going to get out of the habit of going. Warner Brothers is plan of action with the HBO Max. That's part of the reason why Wonder Woman hasn't done very well. Now that we have a COVID vaccine out, it will be interesting if one of these companies were to release, say Black Widow, for instance, if it were to release in May and not have a day and date streaming thing, and if it were a regular release, it would be very interesting to see how many people came. But honestly, I really hope sooner rather than later some big mainstream movie is released just in theaters after the vaccine, because I honestly, the longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be to get the theater business up and going again. And I know a lot of people out there are like, so big deal, you've got a very fancy home theater system and everything. That's true, but there's something to be said about going to an actual cinema. Yes, I spent a lot of money on home theater equipment, but it's still, if you go to a theater where everything's working properly and properly maintained, and it's at least state of the art, if not cutting edge, you will still get a better presentation of that film than you will on a TV. Especially, if you're going to the big, like IMAX or other premium screens. But I honestly hope, and I have my fingers crossed, that Bond does come out in April. Black Widow comes out in May. I'm not expecting anything big from any of the Warner Brothers titles, because, like I say, having them come out for free to the people that have HBO Max, I discussed it earlier, but I don't think that's helping themselves any. But there are a lot of movies in limbo right now. The Conjuring 3, for instance, doesn't have a release date at the moment. I think really the movies that come out between January and February, normally that time of the year this time of the year is kind of like a dumping ground for movies that may or may not do anything that the studio doesn't necessarily have a lot of faith in. And I think, for the most part, that's what we may end up seeing in 2021. We're going to see a bunch of movies that the studio doesn't necessarily have faith in that will perform. Now, Blumhouse has said that Halloween Kills will come out this October one way or the other. And I think we'll get a little bit of that because companies can't just perpetually sit on their big movies, and eventually it's going to get to the point where you're going to have the audience is going to just no longer care. So I get why some of these companies like Warner Brothers are trying to do the HBO Max slash theatrical, the sharing of the window, but I honestly don't see that performing well for films like Godzilla versus King Kong coming out here late in May, I believe, or Dune. I just don't think those films will have the draw, especially when if you have HBO Max, you can just watch it on at home for free. I don't think they're going to have the same performance they would otherwise. And I get that these companies, like I say, they have a huge investment in these films. It's just not going to. They're really in a no-win scenario. They're in their own Kobayashi Maru because no matter what they do at this point, they're darned if they do and they're darned if they don't. They release them to theaters. They're probably not going to make a lot of money, but they're also have too big of an investment on it just to let them sit there. So that's why I'm hoping film like a Black Widow movie, which would be the first Marvel film released since Spider-Man Far From Home. Little did I know when I sat in that theater for that film that that would be it for as long as it's been. Well, you know, it's going to almost be 22 months, almost 2 years. And little did I know it'd be that long before I saw another film in the MCU. But at least we have the MCU television series starting up on Disney Plus this weekend. So, well, that's all I've got for this video. I noticed a lot of people have messaged me and want to know what I thought, and I just thought I'd give you my thoughts on that today. Like I say, plan is for there to be a full regular video up tomorrow at some point. I hope you guys enjoy that, and for now, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like and please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Be safe out there, and if you feel safe at all, please go support your local cinema, because I'm afraid that might be a dying thing. But thanks, guys. This is Bob, signing off.